Let him stay now.
Yeah, yeah.
Compactor picked up, or am I supposed to bring that back to him?
No, compactor's back there.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. Lost track of them.
I didn't think that was right.
We usually don't have them there that long. We usually get everything turned out in a week, but we've had a couple of fleet vehicles that have decided to go the wrong direction on us, which longer than I like to admit. You guys all seen the warrants?
Yep.
Yeah, Tom, you all set with the warrant?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. Pass them down, use our.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be, should be.
Push it through, push it through.
So get it to average out here. Oh,
Take one when you can.
yeah, yeah.
I got the last one.
No, last few.
I got
James
to my
Hall?
last meeting, I was like, man, that was a lot of
James
information.
Hall.
I tell you, I
Good.
was
James Hall.
impressed with the data.
Jim Hall,
you know,
yeah.
and it was,
He's
but I had no idea.
he's a multi-generational resident,
Safety
and
costs, you know, that whole, like,
he's the
cost of
deputy
each one, like, oh, that's
fire chief, a deputy fire chief.
some sort of
Yeah.
algorithm that.
We gave the town, the board
Impressive.
gave him
It was.
the
I got home.
dedication to
Your
the,
link was long, I said, no, I said, yeah, but
Mm.
it's worthwhile.
Oh, it was
to the annual
Okay.
report a couple
They
years
couldn't have
ago.
compressed that. I know we talked before.
You know, I'm
about
getting
compressing
confused
down to a half.
between
Now, there's no way they could have.
Shari and Sally. Sally is the, Shari is the.
Dark hair, yeah.
It's all right.
We won't hold it against you.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Huh?
All right, you're good.
All right,
right,
Joel,
sweet.
please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oops.
Yep, sorry, Lou. Spin you around here.
Just about right in. Right.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Okay, we'll bring the Town of Damariscotta Select Board meeting December 1st to order. We're going to table the minutes of November 17th. And we'll move on to financial reports. Start out with payroll warrant 26.
Make a motion, we approve 126 payroll.
I'll second.
All right, Josh seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries. Payroll warrant 29. I'll
I'll
make,
make a motion, we accept payroll warrant number 29.
I'll second.
all right, Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
I'm abstaining.
And one abstain, Josh abstains. All right, that carries. Yeah, we'll move on to AP warrant 27.
I'll move AP warrant 27.
All right,
Second.
a second. Whoop,
You got
which one was it? I didn't catch him.
Right here, he's faster on the draw.
We'll give it to Lou.
Yeah, give it to Lou,
All
yeah.
right, Lou seconds. Any discussion?
On Wright Pierce, on how are we to date on the monies that, how are we in good standing? What do we have left or what do we,
As far as
where's the
their
grant?
contract for the waterfront,
Yeah,
well, they've got to do it for that first phase was 181.
mhm. So was,
That's been spent.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they're right down to the penny.
so I just want to make sure we're not gonna get something come in out of whack here.
No surprises.
No surprises. Just,
So we had one change order, and that was for some additional testing holes in test pits that we had to do in the adjacent lot. And that's the only time we were over
okay,
in that account. So, yeah, we're right on budget there.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. What's that? All those in favor? Okay, motion carries. And we have accounts payable number 28.
I make a motion, we pay accounts payable number 28.
Second.
That's a Lou. Tom, going to second that? Yeah, Mark was in there
Tom did.
somewhere, but I'll,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Mark.
Yeah,
that's all right. We'll get it, we'll give it to Lou and Tom there, so. All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
I'm abstaining.
Or Josh abstains. All right, motion carries. So, Matt, do we have is Evan in?
We will. He'll be here. He had a broadband related meeting in
Okay.
Noblesboro at 4:30, and I told him we'd move down the agenda.
Yeah, we'll keep
till he
moving
got
right
here.
along there.
Yeah.
So, sounds like a plan. Any citizens' comments or correspondence to
Not that I'm aware
note?
of.
All right, and we can move right on to your manager items at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, at your November 17 meeting, you heard a presentation from two of the staff persons at MDOT on the three projects, the roundabout at Bristol and the roundabout at Belvedere and US 1, the intersection of School Street and Main Street and the intersection of School Street and Bristol Road. So the presentation on the last one, School Street, Bristol Road, you heard that's tentative at this point. They're still
Yeah.
doing quite a bit of research, or there's quite a bit of research yet to be done. But I wonder if the board would like it to take a position on either or both of the other two. The Belvedere US 1 intersection is here's Evan now, that is in the 3-year plan for 2024. But according to Dennis Emity, it wouldn't hurt to have a letter of support from the Board of Selectmen. And then the intersection at School and Main with its right turn only configuration could be in the 3-year plan starting next year, which would put it in for 2025. But that could get a nice boost if it had your support. So that's my question to you, is do you wish to take any follow-up action on either of those two?
I, for one, I'd like to see us move forward with that and with support on both of those projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
we can
agree.
Pull the rest of the board here and
I
see,
agree.
but
All right, now both, okay, I'll
I guess,
draft those letters.
I guess the only question I had is, if you're coming out of Clark's Farms, if you're gonna be able to turn left, or if you're gonna have to turn right.
If I recall the drawing, you'd have to turn right because that median goes past
Oh.
the drive for Clark
Right.
Farms.
yeah.
And there's no left turn whatsoever into School Street this way.
Yeah,
Right.
there is the
Oh,
other
left turn,
way.
yes, left turn into School Street from south, from
Going-
north.
Yeah, it's just coming off.
From the north, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're coming down,
From Hannaford.
from Hannaford's, you could turn left onto School
School.
Street, but you
Right.
can't turn left onto School Street here if you're coming by the Main Street Marketplace.
Yeah.
Someone could come out of Clark's and come out to this intersection.
Right.
Right.
I just-
yeah.
I
There's
just-
a way. Yeah.
Trying to figure it out, but
Yeah.
They'd have to take a right.
we'll come out this way and then go.
Yeah, they could go further down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they could go down to, like we'll all have to do, go down to
I
school to church.
guess the only thing I don't know if we do like a public feedback session on that before we really fully commit, or I don't know. I think the board's already said they want to approve it pretty much, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, the amount of data and time that the DOT's put into, I mean, they put a lot of research into it. So there's no perfect solution probably, Josh, but
Well, I also think the state is making the recommendations, particularly on the Belvedere thing. They're saying it's a third worst intersection, so
Yeah.
it needs to be fixed.
yeah.
Yeah, and I guess the only other question, he never really addressed the bicycle.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. For the roundabout.
Yeah.
They're going to look into that. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but from a safety standpoint, I don't think we need to, get approval from the town.
There's gonna be plenty of meetings.
So at this point, we can, I mean, there's times we can address, voice our support. There may be some more questions as we go, because you go through design phases and whatnot. And
Right.
I know you brought up the bicycle stuff and whether they do that on out around or whatnot, but
I guess the concepts are good. I just
Yeah.
don't want to fully commit to something that doesn't really not in its final design type thing.
I think we need to move it on, but I also think that we need to look at where we're at next summer. We need to keep on top of them to
Mhm.
try to do what we can to make that safer, because it's dangerous.
yes, amazing. Yeah.
But I will say, and the information that they provided and just was an unreal amount of data that they collected, and to back up everything that they brought forth is just amazing what they did.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
in the results from the existing roundabouts, where you saw the reduction in
Yep.
not just in the personal injury, but in the cost. It went from some that were hundreds of thousands down to zero, and it's like, wow, that's
is
pretty
amazing.
impressive. So yeah. So we'll move on with our support, but we know there's going to be some more conversations and final designs and things, which we'd all we'd like to have the town have some input on, but obviously much as we can, right?
We just want to be moved up a little
Moving.
quicker.
Yeah. Keep moving them along. So
Okay, so I'll send letters of support on behalf of the board.
yeah.
For both of
Thank you,
those.
Matt. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we thank them for their time and
And, yeah,
all the information. So, do we want to move on to Evan?
Yes,
For now,
yeah.
we'll come back to your stuff.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
we'll get his presentation. wow us with a light show and
I wish I had lasers instead of just
Oh, yeah.
boring bureaucratic stuff today. So here's a copy of the request for information packet
Thank
that
you,
we
Evan.
gave to all the broadband providers in the area.
Thank you, Evan.
Pretty cumbersome if you get down to the 3rd through 8th stages.
all right. The microphone over here. You know the drill. Yeah.
Hopefully the folks at home can hear me.
You're going to start out by giving the context for all of this to refresh our.
So the context with this is that once we do the grant application, which the dates still haven't come out yet, of when that's going to be active, we want to be able to say that we inspected all possible options for providers to come in and give everybody a high-speed service. So we sent a copy of this to Tidewater and Spectrum, as well as a few other fiber companies, Axiom, Premium Choice, Pioneer, GWI, communications broadband companies. And so far, let's see, we distributed it on November the 8th. And we had, on the second page, there's a timeline at the bottom. November the 8th, we issued it. And at November the 22nd, we had one set of questions come in from Spectrum. They wanted to know, A, if we would accept a proposal or a plan that did not meet the threshold of 100 megabits download speeds and 100 megabits upload speeds, which is something that's listed under broadband goals on page 4. And I indicated that that was the speed that the towns were interested in accomplishing. And that's something that Connect Maine lists as their definition of broadband is 100 over 100 symmetrical service. Let's see, Spectrum also asked if we had a list of unserved areas and roads, and I responded that I had sent them a list of addresses and roads based on their mapping that they sent me. So if they can't find out any better than me, then they're in bigger trouble, I think. They seem to have the money and the assets and the technology. I am just me. But and their third question, I'll have to send you a copy of it. I can't recall their third question, but those are the 3 questions that we've received from all providers. And then Tidewater will be giving their presentation on the feasibility study this coming Monday at 3:00, which of course you're all invited to attend. And it will be here as well as on Zoom if you can't make it. We'll have it recorded. Other than that, it goes on into page 6, 7, 8. Past projects that the providers have completed, everything we could think of that would be willing to add, that would be worth asking to any provider that wants to come in and do the project. So this document's a bit of a hand-me-down from other groups that have had to do this, and we've customized it to fit our needs. And I think we have a closing date of the 20th. This is going to be the closing date, and I think the committee's plan on meeting the 7th of January to make a recommendation for what provider and plan that they think should be going forward with.
Did you get any feedback from anybody else as far as, saying we got it, we'll get back to you? Or
Not really.
no?
Not really. Some informal anecdotes from some of the groups over in Noblesboro who have reached out by telephone. I sent emails and sent my contact info that way, but the Noblesboro group seems to think that other companies would be interested if it was 3, 4, 5 towns, something like that. So,
Oh, really? Yeah.
but Spectrum is indicated that they plan to give us a response, and obviously Tidewater's planning on giving us a response as well. And I would love to entertain any questions.
When you do get these proposals, Evan,
Yes.
your committee, how are you gonna sit down? You're gonna rate?
Yeah, we're gonna have to, we haven't established a rubric yet, but we're definitely gonna establish a rubric here in the next 2 weeks to figure out how to grade them
Yeah.
appropriately.
And will you send that out so they'll know, once you figure out your rubric, will you send that out to the companies to let them
Yeah,
know?
yep. I foresee that.
Yeah.
We have December 6th, which is this Monday, as a date for answers to respondents posted. So I anticipate we should be able to get it out by then or within next week sometime.
Bless you.
Appreciate the work.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. It's been fun.
things are moving along. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
wonder if you should send out their priorities before they respond or not. I mean, if you don't, then when they come in and you play against, you get a more honest response as to what they were going to do on their own. And then you could have them react if it doesn't look good for them. But if you send it out in advance, they're going to probably tailor their thing to
Right.
slam.
Well,
it.
if they want to, yeah, if they want to tailor it, then we can get something in writing and, put pressure on to have everybody deliver the same level of service. That would be pretty good. So either way.
Yeah, all right.
And the only other new item is I talked to Susan Corbett, who's the director of the National Digital Equity Center, which is actually located in Wiscasset. And they've got a program with the state of Maine, basically to help people take classes that they do through adult education and through libraries, help people with assistance, because I've talked about it before, but the emergency broadband fund that came through, that's $50 a month for now, but in the new infrastructure package, that's going to be $30 perpetually after the emergency one's done. So people that qualify for low income can get $30 off their bill. That's something that's going to go on for quite some time. And they've got a bunch of different initiatives of what they're trying to do. They also have a program to give devices, laptops or tablets to low income people and elderly people that could use them for telehealth or what have you. So
What's the name of the organization again?
National Digital Equity Center.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's over in Wiscasset.
Yep. She's in the Lincoln County Regional Planning Office.
Yeah. Oh,
So they've got a whole toolkit of different outreach things that they want to establish for different towns, and a lot of different places have picked it up and come up with a comprehensive plan of how they're going to do outreach to find people that need services and these types of things.
sure. Great. Any
And
other
that's the roundup.
questions or comments, or Evan?
Thank you, Evan.
So keep
Yeah,
it up.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Looking
Good
forward to the
work.
results.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
and thank you. Cheer and clap for you. All right. And we'll get back into our manager's notes here, Matt. We're gonna talk about the waterfront improvement a little bit. Where we're
Right,
at with
well,
the-
just a couple
design.
loose ends, or three loose ends, I'd say, are from the last meeting, on the opening of the openings for the Harbor View. Tom had asked about whether or not we wanted one at Misery Gulch. And I don't know how you all feel about that.
Well, let me just give my pitch is that I don't like walls blocking views, especially in this kind of a rustic environment. And personally, I've gone into the parking lot when there's a lot of things going on, and you can see where Schooners is, what's going on before, and especially if you're new to town, you wouldn't be able to see Schooners probably. Okay. And so like when the Oyster Festival's there or whatever else they're doing. So I just think, why block views? I mean, I think that's all nature there. It's natural. I mean, I know it's called Misery Gulch, but I don't know where it got the name, but I just don't like the idea of blocking things off. And, big long wall just blocking that whole side to me just doesn't fit the town.
I'd like to see it be included as a bid alternate.
Is it what?
As a bid alternate, as what Matt is asking us, so.
They'd be adding in, the
Stop logs.
stop logs. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'd have to see what the cost alternative is. So it's worth looking into.
Yeah,
Have them.
well, I'll have
do
them,
that.
I
Yeah.
could have them included as an alternate, or
An
just
alternate.
have it put it in the package.
we better off as an alternate? Is that?
I would say an alternate.
Alternate, then we can hash it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh, the first one
Sorry,
was
go back
on
to
the glass wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So again, would you want to include that as an alternate? Obviously that,
It's gonna be expensive. Isn't it?
yeah, it is expensive, but is it something you want to have considered further? I guess that's the,
Well, I'm
the
on this,
question.
I'm on this focus group and I would say there's not a lot of support for that, but think about this, okay? Let's assume that we have a flood in 10 years. That means that for 364 days, or 3,649 days, you're going to be looking through a glass wall. All right?
Yeah.
Or let's say it's in 20 years. That's 7,000 days you're going to be living with a glass wall that you can't remove.
Mm.
Whereas the one time we're going to need it or whatever, you put the logs in. So to me, it's a no-brainer. And plus the maintenance. I mean, there's got to be some maintenance on any surface is going to be maintenance, especially glass. And
Yeah.
I don't see the value of
I
it.
would also hate to block that nice February breeze off the river.
God forbid it was, well, let's hope it's 50 years, right? So then you have what?
Well, I get-
35,000 days that you're looking through a glass wall.
I guess that other gets back to my other question I had for the engineers about the useful life of the wall. There was they didn't have
Yeah, they
a
didn't.
time
Yeah.
for how the
Yeah.
wall was gonna be, how long it lasts.
They alluded to a certain types of marine concrete, but I don't know if that was reflected. Could we find out if that was reflected in the price of the wall too? Because we had some questions. No, Josh brought that up
yeah.
about the lifespan.
Okay.
And I guess we need to make sure that's reflected in the
Yeah.
cost, the cubic yard or whatever. Is the right,
Is it the right
Material.
the right grade for
Yeah.
the application?
Okay.
so,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
And how long is this thing gonna last? Give us, somebody's gonna at
They-
least come up with something for us.
Yeah, because you have concrete that's gonna last, but we need to make
He
sure.
did
it's
sort of
reflected in the
react to
price on
say
that.
that you can get stronger concrete. I mean, well,
Well,
yeah.
I know that, but
Yeah, but they should have designed it, with that in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what's there.
We need to make sure that that's.
But I'll just get some
Yeah.
clarification, some further explanation on what their plan is.
Their pricing may be based on, whatever
Yeah. Yep.
PSI,
Yep.
it's something generic, but we
if
need
we're
to make
gonna, if we're
sure.
gonna spend all this money to do this project.
Yeah.
And get ready for 2050.
Yeah.
And here we are at 2021 and the lifespan of this wall is only gonna be 35 to 40 years.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you could have a marine grade
Yeah.
concrete come in at twice the amount of cubic yard of the,
Correct.
so, as far as the windows and whatnot of the glass, I'm
We're here, yeah, I'm hearing, don't consider that any further.
I'm not
Okay.
feeling it from the group here. I don't know. But yeah. So really, I think our main concern would be just making sure it's going to last and it's the right concrete and the right material.
Yeah.
you know.
And the other thing
Yeah.
is it's going to start looking like a municipal office or something. I mean, it's too modern, the glass with the aluminum around it. It's just doesn't
Yeah.
fit.
Okay.
All right. And then,
And then
sorry, Matt, yeah, go ahead.
Mark had flagged this last one on the depth of the parking lot.
Mhm.
I think after talking with Jan and Mike about this after the meeting, they agreed with the 4.5 inch depth.
Yeah, we don't want, I don't think we want minimum anything.
No,
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A
Absolutely.
lot of traffic.
The other thing to add with that is I hope that the borings that they did showed that there's adequate gravel, because it doesn't matter how much hot top you put
Mhm.
if you don't build it on, something stable. I mean, fairly stable.
Well, they-
We know that that's not going to be stable. It's just,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we know
It's-
this now. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Can't
at
go
least
back in
have
time, yeah.
some,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the best we can.
Yeah, I mean, they did do the borings.
Yeah.
We have them throughout the lot, but
sure.
hopefully that's all taken into
Well,
account.
yeah, just make sure there's adequate
In the-
amount of
in the-
allowance for
and
materials.
the contractors should have results of those borings as they get ready to prepare for a bid.
Mhm.
I mean, you're gonna go into that blind.
Yeah, include the the,
Think, Mark?
the test boring
You know, at
results
least
in the,
everybody ought to be on the equal
Yeah,
playing field.
yeah.
If there's information to share, then all information should be shared.
Right. I was looking at how many cubic yards they have in their fixed price,
Mm,
and seems a little low.
That's what
We're not
I,
gonna have any usable material in there. They're
no,
not putting anything back in.
I wouldn't
so
see how you would put anything
Any,
back in there.
anything that's excavated is gonna be
Gone.
hauled out of there. Yeah,
I mean, we
Yeah.
look at what we run into at the fire station,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
We need to know that it's gonna be done right, you know?
Did I give you enough to go on, Matt?
yes, it does. Yeah, that's really all I need unless you have anything else on that. Any other follow-up comments?
Just want to make sure it's gonna stay.
Yeah. right, right.
How long is it gonna last?
How long is it gonna last? Yeah, how long is it gonna stay? So, yep,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I added one because this just happened in the last week or so. Well, I'm skipping one, but
Yeah,
I'm going to jump to Max here because
Yep.
Max, what I did is I dumped on Max all the information I had about the Mile Street project. And he put it all, he condensed it all and put it into a nice, neat application for funding from FEMA. So we're going at a number of different sources for funding for that, but I think it's a good approach. And Max and I have been talking about this for several months on how we could get some additional dollars through MCED and EDA and this other grant opportunity came up in the last month and a half or so. So we went down to the wire and we're asking for $724,177 with the local match of $241,392. Oh, I left out the pennies. So I'd like your approval on, and Max can go into more detail too, but what I'm asking for tonight is your approval for our submittal of an application.
We want to hear from Max, have him come up and give us a little background. Anything to add to it, Max?
I don't know, I'm all good.
Are you good?
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I want to hear from Max.
yeah, come on up. Will you give us a
How long?
quick
Few
background
minutes.
on it? Quick background. Yeah, you're gonna find us some money, hopefully.
Well, as Matt said, this is a hazard mitigation grant program through the FEMA program. Essentially, the town of Damariscotta is going to be a sub-applicant, and the state of Maine is going to apply for us. They're right now reviewing it and seeing if our application is great. The contact person asked that we have it submitted by today, so we got it submitted by today, and they're reviewing it now, seeing if there's any edits that have to happen, and that's about it. But yes, I'm
Awesome.
very glad Matt was able to be very responsive, especially yesterday, to get me some additional information.
Yeah, short notice, Grant.
We're
Get it in
highly
there, so.
motivated.
Great,
great.
Any
That's
questions
good.
for Max?
Max, thank you once again.
Hopefully, save it if we get it.
Hey, no, either way, I thank you.
You gotta
Yeah.
try. Thank you.
Gotta
Max.
try,
Yeah.
so.
How's that for timing?
Yep, good, perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
And Max did include language in there that if they couldn't give us $750,000 or close to that, then we could settle for less. So.
Yeah.
Could sell for more too.
Or more.
Yeah, we could settle for more.
Nice, yeah, that done. Yeah. Yeah, nice, awesome. Oh, all right. Does anyone want to make a motion on that? Let the grant process go through?
I make a motion, we'll let the grant process go through.
Is that good enough? Yep.
Second.
Tom seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
All right, motion carries. Yeah, thank you, guys. So finding money where we can, right? All right, and
Oh,
Matt,
and
we-
then let me just
Oh,
jump
sorry, yeah.
back to the Financial Advisory Committee.
oh yeah, skip that one.
We met today, or the committee met today. Lou was there. He may have some comments to share about our portfolio, but I think it's all very positive.
It is all very positive. We've averaged over 11% over the last 8.5 years. They have a very conservative type investment plan. They watch it very carefully. We've had good growth. What was the growth? The endowment fund does not change too awfully much because they have to be ultra conservative. But originally we started in 2013 with $501,000. And it is now up to 1,143,000.
That's pretty good.
It's very good. You know, and again, they're very conservative, very reliable firm. The committee did suggest that we not make any changes at this point in time.
All right.
Good.
Both with that and with the funds that we have in our checking account.
Yeah. The committee, of course, heard from H.M. Payson firsthand. Kent Whitaker is our representative there, and voted unanimously to recommend to you that we continue with H.M. Payson. Although I need to tell you, I do get inquiries occasionally from other local firms saying, you know, why not switch to us? But I agree with Lou that we're getting a very good product with H.M. Payson. And then the board also agreed after Cheryl and I reviewed our experience for the last year and a half that we ought to stay with Bangor Savings. As you know, they took over a DB&T, but they agreed to keep the very favorable agreement, very favorable for us agreement as far as the return on our savings in our checking account, which is combined essentially. It's something like they'll pay 2.25% above the treasury rate. And the other, when we went out to bid or for proposals on this, the other folks couldn't come close to that, and they've agreed to stay with that. So the committee is recommending that we stick with Bangor Savings for the time being. Yeah.
Good. Sounds good. There's no reason to change, then everything's going smooth.
I got a question to Lou is how do they get do they work on a percentage? How do they
Yes.
make their money?
I can't read, was it 1.15 on the endowment? And I can't remember the other.
Well, you can see that they've made, it's on the cover sheet. You'll get this when we send it tomorrow. But on that growth that we've seen to date, they've taken $5,759 out. So it's pretty minimal. And then it's on the fixed income, which is our capital reserves, they take 0.25%.
Yeah.
So essentially what happens is we earn 2% on that. We're much more restricted on the capital reserve monies than we are on the endowment funds by state statute. So we have to put it in, you know, what's called fixed funds, although it varies, but it's a fixed fund account. And we're earning 2% on that. And Payson takes 0.25%. So net, we're netting out 1.75.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good. All right. We'll move on, Matt, if we're all set with that. We've got an official action item here and an appointment.
Good.
Code enforcement.
Corey Florton has been not in this business very long, but he has his certifications for plumbing and for building official inspection. The towns that he's been with, and I listed those in the town manager notes, say very good things about him. So we're fortunate to have a young person, hopefully, assuming the board approves the confirmation, approves the appointment. I hope he'll be with us a long time.
Absolutely.
It's a tough market. It's a tough employment market.
Yeah, it is everywhere. It's hard. So if we get somebody qualified in, yeah.
And I guess I got a question on that is how do we pay him? Is it per time what he's doing? I know it was a
We're
little
paying-
different with
We're
Stan.
paying him on an hourly basis. So some of them get paid on an hourly for everything accept the septic permits, and then they get the set fee for, we're just a pass through for that. But with Corey, we're just going to pay him a flat $25 an hour
Good, thank you.
and without benefits.
So I'll make a motion to appoint the confirmation of the town's manager's appointment of Corey Florton as code enforcement.
I'll second it.
Mark seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries. Good. Can let him know.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
And welcome
He'll be here
aboard.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Awesome. All right, we'll move on. If there's any selectmen's discussion items, we'll start down here with Tom and
Well, I'd like to commend all the people involved with the parade, the Festival of Lights parade. I was concerned that there wouldn't be any turnout because they had to change the date, and move it out 2 days because of weather. But it was a great turnout and all the volunteers did a great job. It ran very smoothly. There were no incidents. Everybody seemed to be in good spirits. People were all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It was good, very good experience. They did a nice job.
yes, thank you, Tom. Yeah. Lou?
I have a question. Have we been having some problems with the septic pipes in the parking lot as far as shipping, vending, etc.?
I don't know for sure. What I heard from Leanna was that she suspects that there's some, in her terms, dips and sags in the lines that connect to two of the businesses. And, I sent a note to Wright Pierce today, and I said, this needs to be on the punch list for Chase Construction. So, I mean, that's what I know.
Okay.
As far as that goes. And then we have several items on their punch list that, I mean, if it's true, that's the most concerning.
Yeah.
So with that said, though, Lou, we got to make sure that those are fixed before we do the parking lot.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
We'll keep in contact with the sanitary district or.
Yeah, what they want to do is they want to, like, we got a note from Chase yesterday. What they want to move quickly on, because this needs to be done before we get any more winter snow, is they want to fix the lip that's on the manhole covers so that they're flush with the pavement. So they're planning on doing that like ASAP. If there's other issues that they have to address, they're not as well, I'm not sure, given what Leanna told me today, but other issues that aren't as time sensitive, they'll wait till spring.
Right, yeah, okay.
So, then all this, gosh, I hope all this would be done long before we're paving.
I mean, they should be able to run a camera down through there to see
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yes.
They can do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
that's
we did,
today's technology.
yeah.
The new line.
Yeah. Well, what happened was they did we had all the new lines videoed, and I don't want to give you too much more than you want to know here, but when they got to that one particular place that Lou's mentioning, it had grease in it from the restaurant.
Okay.
And so at the time, the sanitary district said, that's okay, we don't need to see it. We know there's grease there. So the sanitary district went out, the trustees didn't agree with that assessment. So they went out and they videoed it again. And so that's a concern now. Is there a sag there that caused that grease, or was it just a big, dump of grease from the restaurant, which they're supposed to have a grease trap, but they
Right,
obviously
yeah,
didn't.
okay.
So that's what we're,
So it's still in a little bit of
Dealing with
flux
now.
right now? Is
Yeah.
that- Yeah.
yeah, and I really want to get out of the sewer business.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going to be in the sewer business, then I'll do it, but I don't want to continue to hear about these issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
So,
right. We
yeah.
want to
Yeah.
move past it.
And so, I'm hoping that after they finish their punch list, we're done.
Is everything settled with the sanitary district as far as approval of them taking over?
No, they won't approve it until they know these punch list items are
Okay,
approved.
so the only one that has approved taking it over is Leanna.
In the letter.
I don't want to, yeah, I mean, it's
Said
the
on
trustees
behalf- on
ultimately
behalf
have
of
to
the
approve it.
trustees.
Yeah.
On behalf of the trustees, right? No, the letter on it. Okay,
Yeah, but they haven't made a decision on it.
right. So, yeah, so is that a verbal, a tentative agreement that we're waiting for the punch list to be done?
Yeah, we got to wait for the punch list to be done and everything addressed correctly before the trustees approve it.
Who,
Do they have a schedule for that?
who is, sorry, Tom, go ahead, Tom.
Well, that's what I was saying is that Chase is saying they're going to get the things that need to be done immediately done this fall, but the other stuff's going to have to wait till spring.
Is that coming from the Board of Trustees or from Leanna? Who,
Which
with the punch list being done and turned? over
that came from the contractor and that came directly from the contractor.
Okay.
And so I haven't heard back from
So we don't.
Leanna on whether or not that's acceptable to her. But I know our big concern was the surface. I
Right.
want to get those so that the blades, snowplow blades, whatever, the backhoe blades aren't hitting
Yeah,
the
Well,
manholes.
I think the thing that
But, yeah,
is most important for us is to make sure that we get the okay from the trustees.
yeah,
And not Leanna.
Right.
yeah, I don't want to get into the,
No, I don't either.
in a
but
public
we
meeting, I don't want to
stay
get
there.
into
Yeah, we
the
can
sanitary
follow, but that-
district
yeah.
politics, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've learned that I've got to look to the trustees for the final,
I
the
guess
final
the
okay.
only thing that came across that letter was on behalf of the trustees.
Yeah,
Was in
right.
that letter. So that's all we have to go on.
But
So-
we asked our attorney to go ahead and look into it. Matt asked.
Into the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure this happens. No.
Did we get a reply?
Hmm?
Did we get a reply from the attorney?
On the letter?
No, we didn't yet. No, I asked Jenny to say, asked her if that was sufficient and I hadn't heard back from her.
Yeah.
All right.
As you
Follow up
say,
on it. Yeah.
as you say, I don't want to be in
Right.
the sewage.
We don't want to be the,
business.
yeah, none of us want to be in the sewer business, do we?
Yeah. I don't want to go down there with a probe trying to free up.
We'll put you on first watch.
Yeah.
We've,
All right.
you know,
Um,
I just kind of an editorial comment. We did follow up because I know the board didn't want us doing this parking lot construction and then the sanitary district or someone else coming in and tearing it up to make repairs. So we asked for the grant. Well, within the grant, we asked for the sewer line repairs,
Yeah.
our sewer line replacement, and we were able to get it. But I mean, I think that there ought to be folks at the district that are thankful that the town and the grant money paid for the replacement of the sewer lines
Yeah.
under the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's just my editorial comment, but we want to separate soon and not be in this business anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll move on. Mark?
I guess I'll just keep going on the back parking lot. And what I'm wondering about is easements that we need to get out, make sure those are all done in the back parking lot. Are those all cleared up so that we don't have anything that's hanging?
Like the easements and such? Is it,
Yeah.
is that what I'm sorry?
Well, in your November 4th, 2020 meeting that you had for easements with us,
We do. We have,
and then,
Yeah.
and then what you said was you recommended and authorized the town managers sign on behalf of the town for these easements related so that we don't hold up the projects. So, and that was a recommendation and we moved on it. And then you were gonna send us emails of the copies of it. So I guess what I'm doing is I want to make sure we get all the stuff cleared up, not get in the middle of a project.
Do you
and
want-
something hadn't been signed.
do you want all the easements for the parking lot, the Gallagher negotiated and starting in 2013? Is that what you're asking? My explanation to you on November 4th was that we had all the easements we needed with two exceptions. One was the one we needed for Water Street sidewalk, and then I reported to you that Jenny Villeneuve was going to beef up the easement we had for the walkway. So as it turns out, we've got enough right of way already on the Water Street driveway. We don't need an easement from Savory, Maine. And I met Jenny on site and I said, this is all we need you to do is just firm up the easement, the trail easement that we have with the Simmons family. And she's working on that. So that's the only one that's outstanding.
Okay, because you listed three of them in here. I just want to make sure.
What was I think the other ones had to do with the whole parking lot.
Okay.
So if you want any documentation on any of that, I'd be happy to share it with you.
I think we want to make sure there's no surprises, like
Exactly.
you're satisfied right now with where the easements are and there's no.
I just want everything signed off. We don't need to go like back out to the solar farm. We didn't have things signed. Just want to get things, the paperwork done before we go do them. That's all.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell you, other than giving you the copies of the documents, I don't know how else to assure you.
Okay.
So that's.
And then my other question is, we still have the light on the bridge we gotta do.
Is it still out?
Yeah.
The night that you brought that up, I sent in a work request to have that fixed. I went out and I checked that light and all the other lights in town. And I'm surprised it's not been fixed yet, but it's one light of the four lights on the bridge.
Just a safety issue,
That's
that's
out.
all.
Yeah, so. I don't know, but I put in that request that very evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
my last one would be is when we had our workshop, we wanted to come up with some numbers of projects that we have coming down the road that you could share with us so that we can get an idea. Do we want to get a bond while interest rates are low? Just so that for the taxpayer, we'll have that line a little
Yeah.
flatter.
Just
wondering where we are.
Yeah, I
with that.
contacted Brett Palsy from Crooker, because Crooker did it for us previously. And he said he would drive around with you, and he's looking at three sites, Belvedere, Church, the section we haven't done, and Egypt Road. And he agreed to do that, give us estimated costs for that. He's been in quarantine. He said he'd do it by the end of the month. He's been in quarantine, so he's meeting Hugh on Monday to do that, to start that process. And then my plan was get that figure, I don't know, million, whatever, and then call the banks and say, what interest rate can you give us?
Mhm. Yeah.
So it is, I'm watching the goals that we have identified in our work plan, and
Not just
I'm
the
trying to keep on
works,
track. Yeah.
And not just the roads, what I think we were looking at when we had our workshop was the road coming down Church Street, how much are we gonna have to come up with? Just trying to get our arms around, how many projects do we have out there being designed? And what can we afford? What's the interest rate? That's what came out of the workshop, what I remember, and I just want to follow through with it.
There's some long-term
Long-term.
projects.
I think I'm following up on what I heard you ask for. If there's something that I missed in the explanation I just gave you, let me know. There's the Church Street, Belvedere, and Egypt Road. Those are the three big ones that we use as a bond issue.
And then Miles is in one of the other
Yeah, well,
area
That's a
items.
budget separate, yeah.
and then other projects we've got going would be Miles Street. And we want to get the design for the Church Street sidewalk,
Yeah,
and then
Hodgson-
start to seek
Hodg-
funds.
Hodgson Street, CBD,
Street.
BG, whatever. the
Hodgson
heck it-
Street, yeah, so what's happening on that is, I was able to get clarification. It was, at first, the reaction from the CDBG folks was that it was too small a project from them to fund. But they're much more open to funding it now that the COVID money is available, the ARPA money is available, because a lot of people that would be applying for, a lot of towns that would be applying for CDBG funds don't need to anymore. So the folks at the Office of Economic Development, which handles the CDBG program, told me to go out and get the LMI survey done and then apply for those funds for the drainage portion of the
Mhm.
project. They won't pay for the road resurfacing.
Just the drainage.
And so I sent out the LMI survey to all of the residents who I know well now because we've met out on site. And Evan, we hired Evan on a temporary part-time basis to go out and pick up those surveys. And he's got most of them in. When those come in, I don't know, you need to know all the detail that I handle as your town manager. But when those come in, Evan is going to meet with Mary Ellen Barnes, who is the third-party administrator for the CDBG funds, the designated person in Lincoln County. And then she will fill out all the summary forms. There's like 5 or 6 forms that need to be filled out. Hopefully we get to the 51% threshold for income or low income. And I'm pretty confident we will, so that we can apply, and then we'll apply for the next round of grants. So I guess my point is there's a lot of detail that goes into what we do here at Town Hall that I don't share with you, but we're working on them. So I think that's,
Pipeline.
if there's any other grants or any other projects that you want me to ask about, please feel free. Yeah.
I think it's just the bond with the interest rates. We got them as low as we can get them.
Yep.
Yes.
We have to find out how much we're going to be asking for though first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I've got Crooker working on.
Good.
Start with that.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mark. Josh?
I'm all good.
All good? All right.
About you?
I won't add much to it. I was gonna second, Tom stole my thunder there. I was gonna, the parade went really well and I was gonna thank everybody involved. So that's it.
Yeah,
So,
it couldn't have gone any better, I don't think.
yeah, that's all I got.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, Josh seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Thank
Motion carries.
Thanks.
Well,
Thank you
this
all.
made up for
Thank you
last
all.
time.
Yes, it did. Thank you, guys. Thank you.